We buy 8-foot by 4-foot sheets of plastic brick, and then we prime it and texture it and paint it to look like any sort of brick or coloured brick that is required by the designer.
And because they're a lot flatter than our textured bricks, we have to use a lot more techniques to make them look interesting. And we also have to coat the plastic with Covent Garden Prime, which makes the paint stick. And we also put the Covent Garden Prime into the paint as well, just to help it stick onto the plastic, because it scratches quite easily otherwise. You normally put a base coat on all over, and then when it's dry, I've got this bit here is already dry because I did it earlier. You start with the colours that the designer's chosen. Would it be a dark red brick? Or sometimes in the cottage layer we have to paint the whole back wall is black brick and we have to touch in, so sometimes they're just black. And then this, because it's got a coating on, you can put it on like that and then with a sponge it off, and it gives more interesting texture on something that is quite flat to start with. Maybe we need to put mortar in them. And sometimes we use a roller also to give another rolled off technique. It's quite nice to see the colour coming through from underneath. And you can also add on more colour with the sponge. Sometimes they can be quite dirty. Quite often we have bricks that look too new, and once they're on stage, the designer always wants them to look dirtier at the bottom, so they look like they're more real. And then you let it dry and do another layer over the top if it needs to be darker or flatter. Sometimes they can look a bit bright, so again, maybe we use a brush this time, and once they're dry, put a wash over the whole lot to blend them all together.
Vac form bricks are a plastic brick that is mass produced, and we use it because it is a much quicker technique for producing bricks than stenciling or carving. But each sheet is similar, so they tend to look very alike. So we work into it with texture and paint to make it look like the wall is made of individual bricks.